Hello and welcome to theory course of civil engineering, 8th semester, earthquake resistant design of structures, RCE 088. In this lecture, we will be going to discuss about seismic waves. So we have seen in the previous lectures that what is earthquake, how does an earthquake originate, and what are the different type of, we can say, those internal structural configurations of earth that are associated with an occurrence of an earthquake, and how the energy released by an earthquake in the form of waves will behave when it will pass through those layers of earth. So in this lecture we will be going to discuss in detail that what are basically seismic waves. So the contents for this lecture will be wave produced due to earthquake, and majorly what are those waves. So we have body waves and surface waves. So let's just talk about again about the occurrence of earthquake. So what happens is that the energy is gradually getting stored at a particular area or a particular point. Then some activity happens, some process happens that further that energy is not getting gradually stored, but it suddenly releases from that point. It suddenly outbursts from that point. So when that enormous amount of energy which was getting accumulated for a longer period of time has now suddenly erupted out from a particular point, so that energy will not be get wasted. It will be converted into some another form, but it will be there. So what happens, that energy that is being gradually getting stored at a particular point, and then finally suddenly it is getting released. So it is getting released in the form of waves, in the form of energy waves. So those waves are having energy. So now from that point, so what do we call that point where that earthquake originates? So that point is focus. So at the focus, that energy is released in the form of waves, and from the focus now the waves are traveling in all the directions. So those waves which are getting originated by sudden release of that energy, those waves are called as seismic waves. Okay, so seismic waves are basically produced due to earthquakes, or we can say that when energy is suddenly getting released from a point. So as per the classification, we have two types of, we can primarily classify our seismic waves into two major categories. First is body wave and second is surface wave. So we have two categories under seismic waves, that is body waves and surface waves. So we can have some idea about the nature of these waves by just simply observing the names of these waves. So first wave is body wave and second wave is surface wave. So what does body waves means? So we know that where the earthquake originates or that energy is getting released, that point is focus. So that point focus is somewhere inside the surface of earth. So at that point that energy is getting released, and that released energy is traveling in form of waves. So what is meant by body? So body is basically that internal structure or that internal part of the earth crust, where that energy is getting released. So while those seismic waves travels inside the interior of earth, so when those seismic waves are traveling inside the interior of earth, so as long as they are traveling inside the interior of earth, they are called as body waves. And as soon as these waves reach to the surface of earth, now what happens, that after reaching to the surface of earth and with interacting with the materialistic properties present on the surface of the earth, these properties are modified. That properties of body waves get modified, and now that originally generated body waves will start behaving in somewhat different manner. So we have another terminologies for body waves when they reach to the surface of earth. Now they have different properties and they will behave differently, hence there is different name, that is surface wave. So when the energy is getting released from a point, that is focus, and those waves are getting initiated from that point. So as long as they will be traveling inside the interior of the earth, they will be called as body wave, and as soon as these waves will be reaching to the surface of earth, this will be called as surface wave. So broadly speaking, we have two classifications under body wave as well as surface waves. So when we talk about body waves, we can classify body waves as P waves or S waves. So primary waves or secondary waves, or longitudinal waves or little waves. Okay. And similarly in surface waves, we have another classification, that is love wave and Rayleigh waves. So we will see what is the behavior of these different waves. So when I talk about body waves, so what are body waves? Those waves which travel through the interior portion of Earth. Okay, so those waves are called as body waves. So we have two classifications in it. We have primary waves. In short, these waves are called as P waves. Another classification is secondary waves, or in short, that is called as S wave. So in this diagram also we can see how the wave pattern will behave. We can observe the wave pattern when it is of P wave and when it is of S wave. Okay, so you will see that there are certain, you can see that there is one wave pattern, and you can see that at some places the gaps between these vertical lines is large, and somewhere these vertical lines are getting closer. You can observe that here these are at a separate distance, these lines get separated at a larger distance, but at some places these are limited to a certain smaller space. So we can say that what is this? This is basically, you are just trying to imagine that this is interior of earth. Okay, so what is happening? This material or this cross section, it is alternatively getting compressed, or it is alternative getting in tension portion. So alternative tension and compression is being generated. So we can observe, or we can see that during a P wave, alternate tension and alternate compression is carried out. So when a wave will propagate along its distance, what it will do with the that material, or we can say that interior of earth. So those from the material which this wave is traveling, it will cause that material to compress or get tensioned in alternate phases. Okay, so let's just see in detail about what are the differences between P waves and S waves, secondary waves. Similarly, when we see secondary waves, so we can observe from this behavior that now there are some distortions that is getting created in normal direction. So we can see here that no deviation or no distortion was happening in P wave in lateral directions, in perpendicular direction to propagation of wave. Let's say this wave is propagating in this way from left side to right side, and it is causing alternate compressions in the direction of movement of the wave. But when we see S wave, what is happening? That wave is traveling from left side to right side, from here to here, but what it is doing, it is causing distortions in lateral plane or plane perpendicular to the direction of wave. So you can see that here is some distortions in shape. So distortions is in which plane? In lateral. Suppose in this manner this wave is getting passed through our interior of this earth, and it is vibrating, or it is disturbing the plane and in its lateral manner. Okay, so this is the direction of propagation of wave, and it is disturbing in this manner. And what was P wave doing? So P wave was, this wave was traveling in this direction, let's say, and it was doing alternate compression and alternate compression in direction of motion of wave. But what is doing S wave? If S wave is traveling like this, so it is disturbing your plane in perpendicular directions or lateral directions. So we will see what are the different, we can say what are the different differences between P wave and S waves. So when we talk about P waves or primary waves, we call it as primary waves. So these are high frequency waves. Okay, so these are high frequency waves as compared to your other waves. So the frequency is very high of P waves. Similarly, S waves also frequency is high. Also the wavelength is short for both P waves and S waves. When we talk about the action, or when we talk about the we can say the behavior of these waves, so basically primary waves behaves in a longitudinal fashion. Okay, so alternate compression and tension is caused in, alternate compression is caused in longitudinal direction. But when we talk about secondary waves, so their action is in transverse direction. So that is why these are also called as transverse wave, because their action is in transverse direction. So when we talk about the behavior of wave in different, we can say that different states. So those primary waves or P waves, these can transfer through both solids and liquids. But secondary waves cannot move through liquids. It can only pass through your solids. Okay. Now, what is the behavioral action of these waves? So when we talk about P waves, so in P waves, these waves, what happens is that the particles, if you talk about the oscillation of particles, and particles oscillator, we can say that particles move forwards and backwards as it is compressed and decompressed. So alternate compression is experienced along the direction of waves in primary or P waves. But when you talk about the motion of secondary waves, so it can move in all the direction from the same source, obviously, but what happens, it disrupts the medium in its transverse direction. So when we talk about the velocity, so we can say that P wave is more faster than as compared to secondary waves. So if the velocity of P wave is more than the velocity of S wave, then obviously at the surface point, which wave will be arriving first? So first P wave will be arriving at that point, and then after the P wave, S wave will arrive. Similarly, now what has happened? The energy from the source, or we can say from the focus, that has been released in the form of waves. Now waves which are body waves. So body waves are of two categories. We have secondary waves and we have S waves and we have lateral waves. Okay. So those two waves are getting transferred through the interior of the earth, and those are finally getting reached to the surface of earth. So once they will reach surface of earth, they will interact with the properties of minerals or materials that are present on the surface, and consequently their property will get changed. So now those waves, body waves, when reaching to the surface of earth, they will be having a different property. That's why they will be called as a surface waves now. So surface waves, when we talk about surface waves, so these waves travels parallel to the earth surface. Okay, so body waves were passing through the interior of earth, and surface waves are moving parallel to the surface of earth, and these waves are the slowest and most damaging. So while compared to body waves, the velocity is less, but while compared to the damage caused by the other waves, these waves are having more destructive action as compared to other waves. So while division is concerned, so surface waves can also be divided into two categories. So we have two categories under surface wave also. So we have Love wave and we have Rayleigh waves. So depending upon the two waves, there is a different type of behavior that is observed both for Rayleigh wave and both for Love wave. So you can see in this figure also that this first figure that shows that how a medium is disturbed, or how a medium will behave when some Rayleigh waves are passing through it. So you can see how the medium is getting disturbed. So you can see, observe some elliptical patterns in this image. So you can observe here, and along the direction of propagation of wave. So this is the direction of propagation of wave, and along the direction of propagation of wave, you can imagine that you can visualize that there is disturbances along the direction of propagation of waves in an elliptical or circular orbits or circular manner. Okay. Similarly, in Love wave, if you observe, then this is the direction of propagation of wave, and you can see that the disturbances are in the transverse direction of what, of your direction of propagation of wave. So how the ground profile can vary? So you can observe this figure. So you can see in this figure that while Rayleigh wave will travel, so this is the direction of propagation of wave, and you can see that that ground profile is varied in elliptical paths. Okay, in the direction of waves, propagation of wave. While in Love wave, you can see that this is the direction of propagation of wave, but how the ground profile is disturbed? It has disturbed in transverse direction. So this is the behavior of Rayleigh waves and Love waves. We will again see what are the features or characteristics of Love waves and Rayleigh waves. So both of these are both of these are surface waves or guided waves. So in Love waves, displacement is parallel to the free surface. Okay, so displacement is parallel to the free surface, and in Rayleigh wave displacement is perpendicular to the love wave displacement. Then if we talk about the velocity, so if we talk about the velocity, then love wave is faster as compared to Rayleigh waves. Okay, and what is the effect on the ground? So love wave is causing shifting, or we can say that disturbing in horizontal plane, so in the perpendicular or lateral direction of propagation of wave. While the Rayleigh wave, we have seen that it is disturbing along the direction of propagation of wave, but in elliptical orbits, or in elliptical fashion or elliptical motion. So ground move in circular motion. These are the various characteristics of these waves. Now, when we talk about the amount of energy released from a point focus, so we definitely should have some mechanism to quantify the amount of energy that is being released by a particular type of earthquake. So, for measuring the intensity, or we can say by for measuring the strength, in more appropriately, we say that that particular term is intensity. So that instrument was we can say that that instrument was invented by Charles Richter. So that is that instrument we are more commonly calling as Richter scale, that we are more commonly using for uh, expressing the strength of an earthquake. So as per the definition of that scale, that the strength, or we can say the intensity of an earthquake is expressed as the logarithm to base 10 of the maximum displacement wave amplitude recorded on a standard seismograph at a distance of 100 kilometers from the earthquake epicenter. So this is expression, this is valid when you have a distance of 100 kilometers from the epicenter. So there are some more graphs, or we can say there are some more methods to obtain more detailed, we can say operations that shows the how what is the behavior, or what is the wave behavior pattern for in seismic activity. So those devices or machines are called as seismographs. Okay. So depending upon the scale, Richter scale, so we can categorize various kinds of earthquake depending upon their magnitude. Okay. So we have come across two terms which are magnitude and intensity. So there can be some confusion between magnitude and intensity, but basically what do we mean when we say what is the magnitude of an earthquake and what is intensity of earthquake? So at the point of origin under the interior of Earth, so at the point of origin where the energy is getting released, so that amount of energy, if we quantify where at the point of origin of earthquake, that is called as magnitude of earthquake. And what is the strength, or we can say energy, that is getting transferred, or that is withstanding at a particular instant of time, at a particular place of observation, or at a particular place of interest, that will be called as intensity. So we can get it by an example, like there is source of an earthquake where an earthquake is getting generated under the interior of earth at a place, say let's say Afghanistan. So at the point where earthquake originates, that place is in Afghanistan under the interior of earth, so that point will be called as, that point, if we, that point is focus. So if we try to measure the energy at that point, that will be its magnitude. But suppose it's, if I try to feel its, if I try to experience its strength at a place far away from Afghanistan, let's say in Punjab, so at that point if I'm trying to quantify its energy, then it will be its intensity at the point of interest. Okay, so this is the difference between magnitude and intensity. So according to the Richter scale, we have different values of Richter scale, and corresponding to those values we can group the different categories of earthquake. So for a value of less than 3 on Richter scale, that earthquake is categorized under very minor. For 3 to 3.9 it is categorized under minor earthquake. For 4 to 4.9 it is categorized under light. Then from 5 to 5.9 it is categorized under moderate earthquake. From 6 to 6.9 it is categorized under strong earthquake. From 7 to 7.9 it is categorized as major earthquake, and from 8 and higher these are great earthquake. So from if we talk about the damages that is being caused by earthquakes, so from this range, from the Richter value of 5, we can have an idea that earthquakes having a value of greater than 5 can possibly cause damage to particular habitat. So this is one chart that can show parallel. You can have an idea that what is the intensity, how you can have a field of intensity with respect to if same amount of energy is released by an explosives. Okay, so this is one of the instrument that is being deployed to get the motions of Earth, that is seismometers. So seismometers are the instruments that measure motions of ground, including those of seismic waves generated by earthquake. So how the ground will behave, what is the motion of wave, what is the wave pattern. So such kind of data can be obtained by the help of seismometers. So we have seen that if the energy is released from the source, from the focus, that energy is getting transferred in the form of waves. So those waves can be of two categories of body waves and surface waves. And we have seen when the body waves reaches to surface waves, when it reaches to the surface, we can again have surface waves. So we can have two classifications still under body waves and S wave. And what are those properties? We have also summarized it. So thank you for observing this lecture.